Hey guys, you just keep on impressing me, so thanks for all of your continued and positive support. I can't do this without all of you. You're the reason I want to keep making videos. Let's talk about some updates. Don't you worry, I've still got plenty of ideas for videos left. I've written all of these in my English notebook during breaks. I've started the ones I really like. And on this side, here's a timeline of when I need to publish a video. You can see it's kind of messy and was revised a few times though. I've also been making a mare puppet from scratch. She has a full turnaround with plenty of facial expressions. I'm still working on it, but when I'm done, I will not make a download for her, as there are plenty of other puppets out there, and mine is organized with my style in mind. Let's move on to some Q&A. These questions were asked by you guys on my last video, a Paper St. Patrick's Derp. Our first question is from Jace Bradley, who asks, besides Paper Mario and Fim, what would you say is one of your biggest influences? Well, that's hard because those are my biggest influences. I guess I would say Pixar. I would watch the behind the scenes more than the actual movie. My favorite was Monsters Inc. and its bonus features. Toy Story was also the first movie I saw. Next, CSX-152 asks, when you get an idea for an animati, how long does it usually take to complete and post? When I first started, I made small tests and published them within a day. Then, when I was making bigger videos, I would have maybe 2 or 3 ideas while I was making another video. By then I was publishing a new video every Tuesday. But now, I have a notebook of ideas. I'm spending on average 2 weeks to complete a video. Matt27 asks, recently, it seems as though you've been favoring simpler design styles, like the Paper Mario and the Pointy Pony ones. Is this because they're easier to animate? I really don't remember exactly why I wanted to do Paper Ponies in the first place, but it may have something to do with my giant Paper Mario 2 poster I have in my bedroom. Seriously, I've been getting really bored and fatigued with the double rainbow puppets, and I wanted to try something different. And I wanted a new, unique art style. Suppose they just came with the art style. Next, Primal Shock asks, have you and will you ever consider leaving the fandom? Well, I mean, eventually, but definitely not if there are new episodes, or the rest of the fandom dies, or moves to something else. LPS Products TM asks, do you have any MLP toys? Do you only respond to people with lots of subs? I do have some toys. These live on my desk, and the big derpy here helps me with angles. The Captain Falcon amiibo is here because he is my main in Smash. I also have some paper crafts that the fandom has provided templates for. I can give a link in the description. These are some of the paper crafts I made. The ones in the back are from Paper Replica. Then I made the smaller ones, and they were made from Kana. To answer your second question, we first have to understand how much it's lots of subs. And I'm sorry if I didn't reply to you. If I didn't reply, it either means I've already answered it somewhere else, or I couldn't understand what you're saying, if it's gibberish or another language. I barely even look to see how many subs a person has before I reply. My favorite questions are ones about production, how it was made, was this scene hard to put together, questions that you can learn from, then questions like why is Derpy sad in this scene, questions about the story don't have real value, as someone else can create a completely different reason and can be just as correct. NORAD2 Terrain asks, your main fare is obviously Derpy and Doctor Who, but you also have done your part in the collective quest to modify everything by covering fairly obscure subjects like Zork. Got any other ideas like that? That being obscure yet well regarded. I did make the Animaniacs song a few weeks ago. The problem with answering this question is that I could tell you anything, tell you I'm thinking about it, but then never make it. So, in order to not get your hopes up about this, I can't tell you if I'm gonna make a certain type of video. But thank you for mentioning Zork. Not too many people comment on it. Fun fact. My dad wrote this story and storyboarded it. Wilson Eel asks, comment, Derpy is awesome. Question, how much videos do you have? Too lazy to count. What do you use to animate? Suggestions, could you make videos more often? I love them, go Derpy. This video will be my 96th upload, but there are a few duplicates, compilations, subscriber specials, and remasters. When I started, I used Adobe Flash CS6, but a few months ago, I upgraded to Adobe Flash CC. I think Derpy New Year was the first to use CC. If I make videos more often, I will run out of ideas faster, and I think the overall quality will be lost. Taking my time but knowing when to stop has been the biggest challenge recently. Eduardo de Arujo asks, why in some animations, Derpy gets arrested by a royal guard? How much work is necessary to animate? Very much, I think, right? The first time I think Derpy was put in jail was in a Derpy Ninja Sneak. She was arrested because she was trying to break into a museum to steal an artifact. The next time was in my original St. Patrick's special a year ago, called A Belated St. Patrick's Derp. I was thinking that off-screen, Derpy was given a shamrock to a pony, and he fell off a ladder that knocked over a torch and burned the houses. Then, Derpy went into Unit's HQ and released the red blob aliens. She then found under a rock a portal that led to Aperture. And then in a Derpy Escape, well, I think I'll make a link so you can see yourself. To answer your second question, I would divide it into 3 sections. There's the story section, which is when you create ideas and write them down. Then there's the production section. This is when I create the storyboards, create assets, and animate. Then there's the post-production section. This is when I add music, sound effects, and then export the file as an MP4 and upload that to YouTube. My style is pretty basic, the bare bones of production, and I might have to complete everything within 1 week, or in the case of my last video, 2 days. Granted, I already had most of the assets and a few animations. I also made back from work within 2 days. Muffin asks, do you want a muffin? Yes. And finally, our last question is from Sweetie Sylvia, who asks, how old are you? Where are you from? Do you have an OC pony of yourself? If you do, can we see it? Who are your top 5 ponies? Well, I'm currently 19 years old, and I was born and raised solely in Washington. I'm not really into OCs, but I've made an Corsa Girls style version of myself. And my top 5 ponies are Derpy, Dr. Hooves, Lyra, Bonbon, and Octavia. Thanks for all of your questions, and if you have a question, leave a comment to this video and I'll answer it as soon as I can. Till then, see you later.